there. So sorry I'm hitting my mat. Kristen with essentialsfitness.com. I wanted to, instead of just sitting and talking, I wanted to hop on video again with some exercises that you can do. You can really do these anywhere. That's the main aspect of body weight that I love so very much, is there's literally no excuse, because you can do it anywhere, anytime, you know, with very little necessary space usually. And it can be very, very effective. So this is just a few of the movements that I include in my overall program. I am so huge on increasing range of motion of your joints, increasing flexibility of your muscles. That is game changer. You know, so many people they spend so much time on cardio to lose fat, or lifting, or all this strength stuff, but they don't ever take the time to either properly warm up or properly cool down, or they think they have to go. More is always better. And that is not the case if you are not allowing your body to properly recover. It needs to rest and repair. Okay, so you don't always want to push it hard. And just because it's a day off, that doesn't mean you have to do nothing. Okay, so you still will be moving yourself forward. You're actually going to be moving your progress forward faster, because you're giving your body exactly what it needs. You're maintaining that range of motion, or increasing the range of motion if you have a limited amount, and flexibility, all of that. Believe me, when you incorporate that into a typical strength training program, whether you're lifting weights or whether you do it like I do and it's 100% body weight, it is complete game changer. It'll totally change your perspective, and you will feel the difference immediately. Okay, so these are very simple exercises. These first two are focused more on the upper body, the shoulders, the shoulder blades. They can be kind of a coordination challenge if you've never done them before, but I promise you, once you get the rhythm and you get your mind-body connection going, it really, really is an effective movement. Okay, your first one, I call it quadruped shoulder circles. So you're gonna put your hands right under your shoulders, knees right under your hips, okay? You wanna not do all of this business, okay? You wanna keep your back nice and flat. You're not moving your head up and down. The tendency is gonna be to wanna do that because you just trying to get things coordinated. But if you need to practice it, be up on your knees and roll your shoulders. That's all we're gonna be doing, is rolling your shoulders. But your hands are gonna be braced on the floor, because when you do that, you're giving it an anchor point, so you're actually able to allow a greater range of motion into that shoulder joint, because you don't have your leverage on the other end of this lever of your arm is taken away. So I usually do, for a warm up or even a cool down, I'll do 10 each direction. So coming back to front is a little more challenging if you're not used to doing it, but once you get the hang of this, that forward to back motion, you don't want to be, I have a lot of people trying to do this because they just can't get the coordination going. It takes practice, okay? So if you don't get it on your first try, that's okay. And like I said, what I'll have people do is start up here. If you can't get the coordination going, get your shoulders rolling, slowly lean yourself forward. I know it looks funny, but I'm telling you, it's effective. Put your hands down and keep the motion going, and just kind of focus your brain power into your shoulder joint, okay? So practice that one. If you need any help, reach out to me and I'll see if I can't walk you through it, or we'll figure something out for now. So my next exercise, I call it a prone scap squeeze. Okay, so this movement, a lot of people, especially if you're doing any upper body strength work, your shoulder blades will get stuck essentially on your back, okay? So you're not gonna have that full range of motion. You not only have to hit this shoulder joint, but that shoulder blade, your shoulder blade itself is attached to a very small portion of a bony structure in your whole shoulder complex. So the only thing really holding your shoulder joint or your shoulder blade on your body is skin and muscle. So if your upper back is super, super tight, then you can get knots all across the top and underneath that shoulder blade, and that shoulder blade just gets stuck. So you get really bad stiffness in your upper back, which radiates tension into your neck, which means that you probably have a lot of headaches, okay? So I'll show you this from the front and from the side. This is another one where you are focusing everything, all your brain power into your shoulder blades. This is probably more of a challenge on the coordination aspect, but I promise you, once you get it, it's highly effective, okay? So you can be on your hands and knees to start. I personally like to get on my feet like I'm gonna do a push-up because it gives more body weight. So it actually, to me, makes it a little easier to let your body drop down. You see how my shoulder blades pop off my back? And then you squeeze your shoulder blades. So you're using those erector muscles right between your shoulder blades that go right down the side of your spine, okay? To bring yourself back up. So you're just bringing you're letting yourself drop, and then you're gonna squeeze to flatten your back out. So let it drop, squeeze between those shoulder blades, and flatten it back out. So as you can see, I'm not dropping my head, I'm not dropping my hips, I'm just dropping here. So you almost like relax your shoulders and then squeeze them back up. Relax your shoulders, squeeze them back up. So like I said, that one takes practice as well, because you really have to get your mind into the joint or the muscle or the area that you're working. And so just on repeat, just practice it on repeat, okay? I'll show you another shoulder blade movement on my next video that also can release that shoulder blade off that back, okay? But we're gonna go to the hips, which I'm super huge on, okay? So my last video, I showed you 3 exercises for not only strengthening, but also increasing mobility. But I do a lot more mobility work than anything in my workouts, okay? So, because it's really the center of everything that you do. Every movement, it's all attached, because like I said, ripple in upon. So you're gonna start feeling discomfort and tension and pain above and below the hip joint. So you start having knee pain, you start having upper back, it just radiates, okay? Low back's huge, okay? So this next one is gonna be a frog squat. So you're gonna come down like this. If you're up here, you can still do this, that's okay. But ultimately you wanna get to where you're here, okay? And I'm not warmed up, I did that on purpose because I'm gonna show you the progression that I do. This lower half of your lower leg, people don't really think about that part of their leg, but especially if you're wearing shoes that are not appropriate for supporting your body, which most people are like, I just got new shoes. That does not mean your shoes are supporting you like your body needs, okay? You might have flat feet, you might have high arches, you know. My feet are very flat, so I'm very particular about my shoes, and I will only buy 1 pair, okay? And I know the exact kind that I need. But I am always, you know, I take my dog on so many walks, and we walk very quickly, so that really uses this lower half under my calf. So this is one of the few times that I will say to bring your knee past your toe. And I just kind of rock into this. So not only is it loosening my hips here, but it's also stretching out this lower leg. If you do that regularly, you'll see a big difference in how tight your legs feel, because this is tight, ultimately makes your calf tight, ultimately makes the bottom of your foot tight. You know, people don't think about those little areas, but those little things, little areas of the body, once you loosen them up, huge difference in how well your body moves. So that loosened me up enough to where I can sit flat feet all the way down. I can't go any lower than this. This is just my body where it is, okay? If you're up here, that's fine too. So what I do is I go knuckle to knuckle, and I push my elbows into my knees. I try and keep my back as tall as possible. Let me turn sideways. as tall as possible. So I'm going to push out, so I'm actually using my shoulders, squeezing my shoulder blades together to push my elbows out. So I'm pushing into my knees, but I'm squeezing my knees together. So I'm pushing my elbows and knees into each other, okay? But I'm also rolling my shoulders back to try and keep my back as flat as possible. And then I'm hold that for about 5 seconds and just kind of relax it and then squeeze again. So what this is going to do is it's going to release all of this groin area, because if you flex and you're also trying to use that muscle, it's a stretch reflex response. Okay, so you're going to loosen up your groin, and it's also going to have the same effect in your low back. So it's going to kind of loosen up those low back muscles a little bit. So anytime you're feeling stiff, if you just kind of squat it down, and if you have to be up here, that's fine. You can still do it. I just go knuckle to knuckle. So if you're pushing your elbows in, and you just focus on keeping your arms straight, then even if you're not pushing back with your elbows, you're still getting that resistance, okay? So going from there, then I'll go from a frog squat to a hamstring stretch, okay? Now, I work on my flexibility every single day. Flexibility and mobility, that is my daily activity, even if I don't do a strength workout, okay? Because I just feel better when I do. So this is a regular thing that I do, mainly in a warm-up, but I'm here in my frog squat, so I can get my hands flat. If you can't get your hands flat whenever you're in a hamstring stretch, that's fine. Just have your hands as low as you can and work yourself down over time. So I'm here, and all I do is bring my hips up. Okay, so turn sideways. So I'm here, and you can even combine the adductor resistance stretch with this one. So you can squeeze, 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 release, bring it up, stretch out those hamstrings, okay? And a lot of times, depending, you know, if you can, grab your heels, pull yourself down. If you're up here, that's fine, but I'll also anchor and then I'll kind of walk. Because if you do this, it turns your hips and deepens the stretch in this straight leg. Plus, I can feel it in this outer hip where it connects to my low back. So it's just a little more release on that hip joint and increases that mobility and range of motion a little quicker. Okay, so you do that however many times you really want to. 3 to 5 is usually my number, but if you feel like you want to do more, or you want to do 3 to 5, but you want to do it a couple times a day, these are very quick, very easy. You don't need a lot of space to do it, but they're highly, highly effective. Okay, so last one, this is also a hamstring stretch. So it's a split stance, T-spine rotation. So however wide, you know, depending on your flexibility, however wide you can get is totally up to you. Anchor one hand, if you need to be on your knuckle, whatever you can do, like I said. If you need, or anchor one hand in the middle, and I'm not warmed up. So your goal is to try and look, twist your torso. So I'm pushing down into the ground with this bottom hand. So I can feel a stretch on this inner thigh muscle, your little adductors, and then I'm feeling it on the back of this down shoulder as well, because I'm flexing and I'm pushing myself away, and then you're getting all the stretch in and around your ribs. Like I just had my low back adjust itself. So you don't even have to do anything specific, like I said, to try and get, you know, if your joints are feeling stiff and you're like, oh my God, I wish my back would pop, my neck would pop. If you do mobility and flexibility exercises every single day, your body will become its own chiropractor. It will adjust itself because it has that free range of motion and the laxity to have your joints have the mobility that they need, really. I mean, they're not supposed to be locked up. So if all the muscles around your joints are all locked up, then that joint locks up. So now you got tension on top of tension, and you might not even realize how tight and tense you are until you start doing some of these movements and your body is able to move as it should. And then you're going to look back and wonder, how in the world was I living every day so uncomfortable? I promise you, you will move better, you will feel better, you will be in a better mood because you will feel better, you will sleep better. That was huge. It's little things that you don't even think about, that they all add up over time if you're taking care of yourself head to toe. Okay, it's not just about strength training, it's not just about cardio, it's about the whole package. So you have to do all of these little things, and it's not a hard workout to do a mobility or flexibility routine. It's not hard, but I promise you, you will feel a physical difference, and you'll understand very quickly how much faster you can move forward with whatever your goal is, because your body is going to be working more efficiently, because it's going to be functioning like it should. Okay, so if you have any questions or you have any specific issues that you want to talk about further, then please comment below on this video or message me privately, okay? And we will talk, and I will show you how you can live